hoping y'all can see me okay. Well, I might have to hold it. I think I might have to hold y'all. Okay, so I'm in his car again. So what I'm going to be doing, guys, I'm going to be doing some videos, but they're not necessarily going to be trucking videos. Although I'm going to put one of them on here, and this will be the intro to it. The videos that I'm going to be doing, and I'll put this here. I'm washing laundry. I'm at the laundromat. The videos that I'm going to be doing are going to be more Christian based. Some conversation with my father, some stuff that I'm reading online, some things that happened before I left California. It kind of got me bubbling with some stuff, some Christian stuff. Sweating. My niece, she sent me a video of her sister, her half sister, who had been severely actually raped and molested, because I'm just gonna call it straight out raped, on a consistent basis by her stepfather. Her mother, once she found out, left the home and then came back in, and then brought her back into this mess to this man. Or I'm gonna say male, because I don't believe a man who has control of his urges would do such a thing, but I do believe grown males who are pervy will. We're starting to see a lot in media that's happening in this area. I myself am a sexual abuse victim as well, from my childhood, from my stepfather, as well as some cousins. And a lot of times I'm finding that when I first started out in ministry, I had a lot of people coming to me and did a lot of counseling, but a lot of it became very heavy because it's sad. People want to unload all their crap on you. I'm going to say the S-H-I-T on you. And I'm sorry, I know Barta's going to be a Christian channel, but I'm just going to get raw and real. They want to unload their BS on you, but they don't want to do anything about it. They want to stay in it. Living with my biological father has awakened me even more so to that. One of the reasons I wanted to get the weight off is because I started looking, in my 40s, you start looking back over your life and you start seeing where damages happen. My brothers that were under my biological mother were all obese. My one brother, he actually ended up losing his weight. And so he actually did a good job at losing his weight. But he went and got the gastric sleeve. My other brother's 400. I've gotten right up at the 400 mark. I'm starting to drop it again because I'm starting to eat like I was eating when I was at my friend Vivian's when my leg was fractured. In my humble opinion, God has shown me that we can make choices in our life to be different. We can choose to stay in our mess, or we can choose to change. Even the mess that might have been thrust upon us by other people. So if you've been any kind of abuse, my mother was verbally and physically and mentally abusive, any kind of abuses you suffered that have rolled over into your adult life, we need to have a point where we have what I call a man in the mirror moment and start dealing with them, because they will impact the rest of our days. In looking at how my biological father is living right now, I see that problem where it's impacting him. We went and visited a friend of his who's a Vietnam vet, and he shared some things about when he came from the war, how he couldn't sleep. Basically, he's describing PTSD because he was out there fighting in Vietnam. And he then realized that he got a pet, and that helped him to be able to sleep, because the dog would alert him. He became comfortable in it. You have to change things. And so for him to be able to even sleep and have a sound mind in a way, there were things that took place that changed. Some of us choose to live in our BS. We just do. This morning I got up and an associate of mine had a devotional on her Facebook page. And it talks about, in a summation, that basically God ordains all the stuff that's going on. Not true. It's funny because when I read it, I was like, We have free will. We have demonic spiritual things that may unction us, tempt us, that we submit to. And then we do have God on our side, if you're Christian. So a saying in the Bible says all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord, meaning that ultimately, if you truly love God, it will work together. But in loving God, there's also submission. There's also obedience. And if we are out of line in any of those things, where is our love really at? And how in order are we to have him fully in control of our lives? So we have to weigh how we're looking at these things. On the channel, on the Revelation Life channel, if you guys, I may have it under Revelation Life Ministries. I'll try to put a link to it below. For the Trucker channel, I'm going to send a link to the prayer group that this is going to as well. And I know this is dark. I'll do one later on in a better light. But I was sitting in the car outside of the laundromat waiting for laundry to complete. On the channel, what I'm going to be doing on the Christian-based channel is a series of videos, and I'm doing one on Broken that deals a little bit with abuses, people who are abused or who choose to stay in situations that aren't healthy. So you end up maybe with the wrong mate, or you end up with a situation you don't require somebody to step up to their potential, or you accept things and you stay in drama. Me and my father just had a talk on wives and what he thinks a wife is, and his overall view is the same chauvinistic view he has of women. Some woman who owns her property, owns her house, has all this stuff, and that's a wife. Whoa. No. that's not it. That's what you want it to be, because you want somebody to take care of you and have everything in place for you to sit on a chair and be subservient to you, to wait on you hand and foot. That is not a wife. That's called an indentured servant. So I'm going to be doing some stuff on that. And I had to tell him, I said, that is a chauvinistic view, and that's what's wrong with you now, and that's why you're by yourself. Because now there might be some females here in Lubbock that will tolerate that craziness because they desperate, because they just want to say they got a piece of mail in the house that's got a penis. Whether it work, don't work, whatever, that's what they want to do. Because for whatever reason, there are females that just have to have a male, and they think that's what makes them a woman. It does not. It makes you a grown female. It don't make you a woman, as he is a grown male. There's a lot more to being a woman and being a man. And like I said, my father unfortunately doesn't have any of those characteristics. That's why we're probably better friends than we are for me looking at him as a father-daughter relationship. He's my biological father. I would say this is my dad, but if you ask me in general, he's a biological father. That's all he is. He's a sperm donor. He has no inkling on how to be a father. And I'll get into that too, because when you're not in your place as the person who position yourself for children, and you're not doing the right thing, you're not an example to your children, then the outcome can be my brother who's in prison, a son that I know he's bailed out on a couple different occasions for temper issues, because you haven't taught your children to be men and how to be women and how to be in control and disciplined in their actions and what a woman or man is, and you can't teach it if you're not it. That's just fact. The other thing we're going to be doing on is thorns. That is where you have a stronghold over your life, which is one of the things that has impacted my father and impacts me in some ways. I've made some conscious decisions on my same-sex attractions to not be involved. It's not to offend anybody. I just don't believe it's biblically sound, and other people may argue with me. I still have friends who are very active in the same-sex lifestyle. That's your choice. That's a free will choice. For me as a Christian, it's something I can't be active in anymore. So I've made my own choices just to pretty much be celibate by myself. And, you know, will that change? Would something happen where I'd meet a person who is opposite sex? I don't know. I don't foresee that, but I don't know. I've been watching a minister who says, I fell in love with a person who had same-sex attraction. She didn't look at him as male or female, but she had been out of the gay lifestyle, same-sex lifestyle for several years, and then became friends with someone and fell in love with the person who happened to be male. And, you know, can that happen? I know people who will say they're not gay, but are in same-sex relationships because they fell in love with a person. So I believe it can happen, but like I said, is that in my cards? I don't know. It's not something I concern myself with. I focus on my day-to-day actions, and I focus on a plan for what the near future that I can think of holds, and hopefully God is in it in some form or fashion. The other thing is thorns. Another one was called naked before God. And that has to do with an exposure. Because oftentimes I believe we try to cover up and justify our crap. One of the things my father's been doing lately, he's doing a lot of lying. Like when he was at his friend Nick's house, we went over there and talked to him yesterday, and Nick asked him had he fixed a dent in the back of the car. Dent's been here since over 5 years. No, he hasn't done that. And then and I said, yeah. He said, well, he's got to work on it. I said, he got 2 tires on the front, but he got it 2 on the back. All the tires on the back are fine. He told me all the tires are bad. And I can tell you looking at the sidewalls on the tires, they're bad. I can see the cracks on it. And when you drive, I can feel it moving. So the tires are bad. But again, we want to justify our BS and look a certain way for other people. He doesn't want to appear as though, hey, I'm in financial trouble. And then I'm watching how he's spending money. It's insanity on dumb stuff. He got like 10 air fresheners in his house. I said, why did you buy more air freshener? You already have some. You don't need to buy any more air freshener. It's just some stuff is just insane, but it's too much work to think about it and adjust it and change. So I want to deal with, like I said, becoming naked before God, and that's going to be a series we'll do on there. I put this on the trucking channel because I do have some people who have subscribed, who I've seen pictures of you. You've either also interacted with me maybe on Facebook, and there's things that I've picked up that tell me you're broken. And I'm not judging you, I'm broken. I think a lot of society is broken, which is why society is where it is right now. It's why we have the government leadership we have right now, is that we're dealing with a lot of broken people who want to live in their crap. And there comes a point where we're going to have to make some choices and some decisions. And some people are living in it to cover up. Some of them are too lazy to just stand up and deal with it. I was watching this show about obese people, 600 pounds, and this woman went through this gastric bypass, and she made every excuse to not get up and walk, to continue to eat the way she's eating, and to not go to physical therapy, to not get in order. I thought back to when I fractured my ankle, and the one thing was that my therapist say, we wish we had more patients like you. Because my goal was I wanted to walk, and I wanted to be out my friend's house as soon as I could. Not that they were bad people, but I'm an independent person, and I don't like living on folks. I like independence. I like to earn my own money in my own way. Even though I paid her to stay there, it went a lot longer than what I expected. And also I wanted to walk. I wanted to get on with my plan and my goals. By just sitting on my ass, excuse my French, and not getting up off of it and understanding that I'm going to have to work through some pain. And that's us as humans. We got to work through some stuff to get through some stuff in order to help other people with some stuff. But we can choose to live in our foolishness. So we'll be doing some series on that. I hope you guys want to watch. Just check our Revelation Life. I'll put the link below here for the trucking channel. For the prayer group, I'm just sending this out, and you guys hopefully will watch. And then you can follow the channel. I'll put the links in as I send the prayers out daily. I've got about maybe 3 or 4 more weeks here. I just started on the CPAP, I think Monday. I got 5 hours in last night. We got woke up by the cops because somebody barricaded something in an apartment, and somebody got shot. And at another location, they chased a man to my dad's complex. He barricaded himself in the apartments of his girlfriend who's at this complex, which is like some 55-year-old community. Again, drama. And that was at 2:30 in the morning. So that's the first incident. But anyway, guys, I hope you are blessed. We'll get some more trucking videos up. I did talk to Safety about that thing. I might do a little video on that conversation. But anyway, 2 and 2, be blessed.